The wish list. Item 4. There was something else waiting for Alfie in his locker the next morning. The camping shower. This time, though, with a note attached to it. The note had been printed out, not handwritten, on one of the address stickers for the packages. It said, "Turn round, go into the lavatories, you'll see another door, go through it." Directions. Was this an assignation? Was he about to meet the person living in the warehouse? He did as he was told, and found himself in the shower room. "Close the door," shouted Hector, who cycled in from one of the cubicles. "You're letting cold air in." Okay, so there were showers as well as lavatories. He should have expected that. He should probably have known that. They almost certainly had mentioned it in the orientation, but he had almost certainly been too busy muttering asides to Maiko. So, whoever it was who had left him that note could use the showers too. He had been wrong about that, but he had been right that there was a whoever. Someone had found that camping shower on top of the cistern in the lavatories, added the note, and put it back in his locker. Someone, moreover, who had known exactly what he meant by it. Had understood that he had meant it as a way for them to have a wash, and had pointed out that they could already do that. "Okay," he called out. "I get it." "Good," said Hector, "and keep it closed." The Stocking Dot Christmas orientation had gone very heavy on teamwork, so Alfie decided he was going to stage an impromptu brainstorm. "Okay, here's a question," he ventured at the morning break. "Say you could have anything that Stocking Dot Christmas stocked for free any time. What would you miss?" "My bath," said Saren immediately. "Every night I get home, I have a long, hot bath, all bubbles and that. Drives himself crazy, me hogging the bathroom, but I need it." "What's that thing divers get?" "Pals?" ventured Hector. "No, he was watching a documentary about oil rigs for something," said Saren. "It was in that." "Oil?" said Hector decisively. "No, when they come up and they get all folded up or something and die," said Saren. "The bends," said Alfie. "Yeah, that's it," said Saren. "And they have to wait in a box until it's safe." "Decompression chamber," said Alfie. "Yeah, that's it," said Saren. "That's my bath. Decompression chamber from this place, so it doesn't all bend me up." Okay, so," said Alfie, "let's put it this way. Let's say you were marooned in this warehouse, like on a desert island." "Why would they put a warehouse on a desert island?" said Roshni. "They have to be near motorways and that." "All right, bad analogy," admitted Alfie. "Let's say we were snowed in, like for weeks and weeks, like the worst snowstorm ever, but we still had power and water and that, so you could still have a hot shower, for instance, and we were allowed to raid the warehouse for whatever we wanted. What would you miss? What would you want that you wouldn't be able to get?" "My bath," said Saren. "Definitely. I'd need a long one after that." "All right," said Alfie. "Saren's bath." "My nails," said Havila. "It's not the same doing them yourself. It's nice to have a chat. It's like therapy, only cheaper, and you come out with nice nails." She waved her hand. There was a rhinestone glued to one of them, and it sparkled at them. "You're not supposed to have them," said Todd. "Bad for the pecking." Havila stuck her tongue out at him. "Hector," said Alfie, who could see that the man was bursting to talk as ever. "Chili con carne," he said immediately. "Don't be daft," said Todd. "You can get that out there. Frozen, tinned, packets. There's tons of it." "No," said Hector emphatically. "Homemade. It's not the same. Homemade. Not the stuff that's just a bolognese sauce with just kidney beans and chili powder in it. That's no chili. It's not the same. You need chipotle and ancho chilies for a start. Smoky. That's very important. A rich flavour. But the secret is the coffee." "The what?" said Saren. "You boil the beef in coffee," said Hector. "Trust me, coffee, a little brown sugar, chipotle, and ancho chilies all grounded up. It's perfect, delicious. You don't get that frozen." "Why should I not?" said Todd. "Sounds disgusting." "Homemade," insisted Hector. "Homemade chili, homemade food." "There's no kitchen here," said Roshni. "You couldn't cook, it's true." we've asked before, but there's just a microwave. You can't cook properly in a microwave. Yeah, said Seren. Homemade food. Hector's right. Mince pies. The shop-bought ones are fine, but it's not properly Christmassy, is it? Rubbish, said Todd. Ready-made's always better. Then you, said Hector, are a lousy cook. Why bother when you can microwave a packet in seconds? Said Todd, getting up. You're all soft. You wouldn't need anything else. It's all here. And throwing his cup in the wrong bin, he left. I'd miss that, said Hector, shaking his head. That's what I'd miss. Homemade food. There was another stocking dot Christmas order waiting for Alfie on his way out that evening. A big jar of mincemeat, a small bottle of brandy, and an insulated food carrier for keeping things warm. The next morning, he was even earlier than usual, getting into the kitchenette before the previous shift finished. He heated a batch of his homemade mince pies in the microwave, put them in the insulated box, and then put the box on top of the same cistern as he had used for the heated shower. I know you can probably get loads of them in the warehouse this time of year, he called out to the darkness above, but it's Christmas, so I made some mince pies for you. And then he went to work. The box was gone when he checked during the morning break, but he heard nothing until the end of his shift when their line manager, Rolf, stopped him outside the locker room. Oi, what have you done now? What's the matter, Rolf? Alfie was pretty sure that Rolf didn't know his name, so he was careful to use Rolf's whenever they spoke. HR want to see you, said Rolf. I guess you're being fired, but I'd never be so lucky. Meeting room gift wrap. On you go. The meeting room was on the top floor of the little management block built into one corner of the warehouse. It was made from prefab elements that creaked and clanged as he climbed the stairs. The room was empty. It was low-ceilinged, a batch of primary-coloured chairs around a Formica top table, all facing a screen on one wall. He sat in one of the chairs. Nothing happened. There was a scraping noise from over his head, and one of the ceiling tiles lifted up and away, leaving a blank hole. Then, in one sudden move, a man dropped through the hole. He landed a little stiffly, steadying himself on a chair. He smiled sheepishly at Alfie. He was in late middle age, his beard already whitening, his head balding. He was wearing the branded red fleece, hoodie and sweatpants of a stocking dot Christmas delivery driver. He turned and reached up after him into the hole he had come through and pulled down the insulated food container. He put it on the table between them. He patted it and then smiled uncertainly at Alfie again, apparently unsure of where to begin. He said, and he coughed, as if trying to wake his voice up. Mince pie?